What is up, guys? This is James at Locking the Value and Copy My Crypto, telling you today about the wonderful world of crypto. So, Dragon Chain continues to be on a bit of a tear. It's quite impressive. Icon nearly 10x, so close. And there's big news out of Icon, so I'll talk about that shortly. Everything's sort of running. Everything's running. This is the spreadsheet from the 26 coins I've spoken about on the channel. And everything's up. Like if you'd invested $100 into all the 26 when the videos came out, you'd be in net profit for $35,000, nearly 36. So pretty great, pretty great. I'm not in most of these, obviously. I cashed out in profit for a lot of them, compounded them into other cryptos, so the gains got bigger and bigger and bigger. People have seen that on Copy My Crypto, particularly with the last 3 picks, and the third one is set for a run soon. I can't wait. But the last 3 picks, we've got 2.5x's on the first 2 in like 2 weeks and 1 week, and the next one's set to run. So guys on Copy My Crypto, keep an eye on it. It's going to be good. If you're not on it, check it out. Okay, guys, let's get into the news. A little bit of housekeeping first, as always. I'm not messaging my WhatsApp number to anyone, and if you see, frankly, any WhatsApp number on the in the comments section, it's a scam. People are trying to rip you off for money, right? I have to delete them constantly, but I'm always going to miss some because it's just unrelenting. If you spot them, type in scam in the comment and I'll make sure I delete it, because sometimes it gets missed, okay? But don't let these pricks get your money. Don't send them your money. Don't interact with them beyond saying scam, okay? And quite frankly, I'm hoping you don't have to do that, and I'm hoping I'll keep on top of it, but, you know, it's unrelenting. Ethereum broke past 2,000 today. Polkadot is on a tear. So is Elrond, and Uniswap's doing a bit of a run. So they are 3 that I talked about in the top 5 for April, and I did say once Polkadot breaks past 40, it should go on a bit of a run. So that is happening. Elrond, I still firmly believe Elrond's going to break 2K. 200 this month. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased to see that. Like, the call seems to be right so far. Right, big news out of Icon. So BTP Working Group, which is a team of Icon core members, are working towards true blockchain interoperability. This is what I spoke about Icon last year. And they've announced its first integrations into the Polkadot ecosystem. So Akala, Moonbeam, Edgeway, and Plasm, 4 big parachain candidates, are going to be integrated into Icon's interoperability solution. So developers can build complex apps tapping into all the different blockchain infrastructures. Biggest issue within blockchain is interoperability, or certainly one of the biggest issues. That's what Polkadot looks to address. That's what Icon is trying to address. That's why I quite liked Icon initially. And as the director of strategy for Icon said, it's exciting to collaborate with Polkadot as we have similar ideals of a cross-chain world and a community of communities. So, yeah, it's good. It's really good news, and I do think that will end up having a fairly positive impact on Icon. Once it breaks past $3 and holds well, it should run to $4, I would think. But yeah, so this is good news. It's definitely good news for both Polkadot and Icon. So excellent. Now, let's get into it. So today I'm talking about Binance Chain. Binance Smart Chain. In particular, I'm going to look at a couple different things. One's deflationary tokens, and the other is just general DeFi. Okay, so there's a good podcast here talking about, is Binance Smart Chain an Ethereum killer? I hate the tagline Ethereum killer. Ethereum's going nowhere. Nothing's going to kill Ethereum, but I get it as clickbait, and as a YouTuber, sometimes you have to do that. So I got to accept it. But it's really worth a listen in terms of in terms of a deep dive into Binance Smart Chain. Yeah, BSC transactions are much faster and cheaper than Ethereum. That is the biggest selling point. So really worth a listen, guys. EOS has actually lost its largest DeFi project to Binance Smart Chain, which is big news, right? And I think that's going to happen more. I think we're going to see some Ethereum ones that happen too as well. So Effect Network will be switching its development from EOS to Binance Smart Chain. Developers said on Thursday the main reason for the shift to BSC is due to concerns about the future of the EOS blockchain and its leadership, which is a fairly big indictment. And fundamentally, we've seen the developments in Binance. Binance is like third in the market cap at the moment, I think. Third, which is and the potential for Binance Coin is certainly $1,000. I think that's an understatement. I'm certain that's very conservative. But I would not be surprised for Binance Coin to hit $1,000 because, and that would only be 150 billion. And I'm saying only, but still. So yeah, Effect Network CEO explained the move to BSC is due to his confidence in the long-term vision of the Binance ecosystem, and that's it. There is clearly a vision for Binance ecosystem in terms of how everything is starting to move. BSC has taken on a number of DeFi projects from the Ethereum ecosystem. Sushi Swap and 1inch are two, right? So we're going to see more of that because it is better. It is better in terms of fees, in terms of speed. Retail investors can't use Uniswap, but everyone can use PancakeSwap because the fees are so low. I think the only issue really is in terms of if you're a US citizen, but there are YouTube tutorials everywhere on how to sort of circumvent that. So it's worth looking. Right, I'm wanting to get into deflationary currencies. Now, a lot of people might remember Hoj. Hoj had this like insane run where it hit like this was its peak, okay, but the daily volume was mental. Okay, we were seeing 30 millions, and now we're not seeing too much. Okay, now but it's still, seeing 3 million, 4 million a day. And it started with a quadrillion, which sounds mad, but they had a burn effect on the coin. So when transactions happened, there was a burn. Now, Hoj was built on Ethereum, and we're seeing at the moment some projects like this one, Safemoon, on Binance. So I actually looked at top trending coins just to see if there was any that sprung out at me, and one was Safemoon because I saw it a couple of weeks ago, and I noticed it having this huge run, and I saw its token economics was like a quadrillion, and I was like, why? But then you look into it, and it's every transaction that occurs, there's a burn effect, so it's up 122% today. It's built on Binance Smart Chain. So what it does mean is that every time, basically every time there's a sale, someone that sells their holdings are taxed about 10% of their holdings immediately. 5% goes towards the split between anyone that's holding the coin. So you naturally, by holding it, you're gaining more constantly. It's almost like staking. It's sort of like, they call it static yield farming, effectively. And the other 5% is burnt forever, right? So what ends up happening is the token supply is reducing at a significant rate. And Safemoon, to be fair, I checked their Twitter out. They are constantly talking about how much they burn as well, which is a good thing. Like you want them to be clear. I mean, Safemoon was trending 12 hours ago on bloody Twitter. It wouldn't be surprised if Elon Musk starts tweeting about it soon. But they're listing on Bitmart. They've listed on, I think they're on PancakeSwap. Binance is their next target. Binance listing fund. So if it lands on Binance, which I don't think it has yet, it will be very interesting to see what happens. Yeah, it's not yet. But I mean, that's a mad run. And like I said, they're tweeting like mad at the moment. But yeah, last time I checked, I think um, it was about 350 trillion or something that had been burnt, an insane amount. Um, so a question for you guys: what do you think of these deflationary currencies? Are they a gamble? Are they something that has a real long-term potential? I'm just curious on people's perspective. I think there's an interesting idea here, so I'm curious to see how people think about it in terms of what's going to happen. And yeah, it's very similar to Hoj, but it's built on Binance. Right, let's get into DeFi. So yeah, 1inch moved to Binance. We've seen Sushi Swap as well, shifting towards Binance. We've got Saffron Finance, which I've been keeping an eye on as well. Beefy Finance, and then Reef and Alpha. But we are really starting to see a run on DeFi. Now the question is how many DeFi projects are going to start shifting? Because there's really only one question here, because obviously new projects are going to build on Binance, and I've seen a bunch. There's like, there's starting to be launch pads on Binance. There's a coin that's an NFT marketplace that's come on Binance. There's the swaps, which are very good. Pancake Swap, no fees. So people are going to build on, like, new projects are going to build on Binance. There's no doubt. But are any of the blue chip DeFi projects, are we going to see them shift? Because in my mind, if you saw, let's say, Aave or Synthetics, or one of them, shift onto Binance, I would expect their market cap to treble, quadruple in a very short time, because it would open every retail investor up to using those protocols, to using those platforms. And it's me just really speculating, of course. But I got to say, like I say, I've used PancakeSwap a few times, like a couple of times recently, and a number of times over the year. I massively prefer it to Uniswap, you know. And if you've only got a couple $100, if you're a retail investor with only $200, you don't want to use Uniswap because you're going to lose $80 just in the swap. Um, and if you're doing a swap on PancakeSwap, you're losing 80 cents. You know, it's 100 times better, literally. So, yeah, yeah. I think, like I said, I think this month we could really see some of the Binance-based smart chains have really good runs. I mean, even in the last 7 days, we're starting to see some of the smaller cap ones obviously having runs. The smaller cap ones always go harder, but they're obviously a bigger risk. But even the sort of big boy projects that have a place within the Binance ecosystem, like Ontology, are starting to have really good. Like, I've had a good 7 days, along with Binance. I mean, Binance Coin, BNB has actually had a really good 7 days. So yeah. So question for you guys in the comments: Do you see um, do you see any potential for these deflationary currencies in terms of anything beyond a gamble, let's say? Because I know some of these deflationary currencies are trying to become payment solutions as well, especially with Binance. That's potential. Um, the other question is how many DeFi projects that are on Ethereum? How many of the blue chips? Could you see any of the blue chips leaving Ethereum and going onto Binance? Because I mean, that's a game changer. The moment one does, you'll see others do. So, because Ethereum haven't dealt with their issues on scaling, and they need to. They really need to. But it's just, yeah, food for thought, really, guys. I'm just having a bit of a chat. Um, anyway, check out Copy My Crypto. The last three picks are, well, the last two picks, the first two picks have been running well. The most recent one, I'm expecting to have a big run soon enough. But it's already up about 30%, so I'm not unhappy. and that's over, you know, a few days. So yeah, so guys on Copy My Crypto, keep your eye on your emails. If you're not on it, check out the link in the description. Hope you're all having a good Easter. Take care, stay safe. Bye.